Dear students, in today's lecture we'll try to discuss different theories which will explain about the biodiversity. So biodiversity has key role in maintaining the healthy ecosystems and thereby sustaining ecosystem services to the ever-growing human population. To get an idea of the range of ecosystem which are serving to us in our daily life, think that how we can make Mars hospitable for the human life. For example, if we talk about the atmospheric regulation, freshwater production, soil formation, nutrient cycling and regulation of climates, these are all different services which our ecosystem is basically providing daily. And if we want to make Mars hospitable, then we have to create all these kinds of things on the Mars. So on our own planet, the process took almost 4 billion years and required the contribution of vast amount of functions which are performed by different life cycles that ultimately driven to the evolution, and now we are able to live on this planet Earth. So there are two basic theories which explains the diversity with relation to evolution. First theory is known as the Lamarckism, or theory of inheritance of acquired characteristics, and second theory is Darwinism, or theory of natural selection. In today's lecture we will discuss about Lamarckism. This is the picture of Lamarck. This theory is also called as the theory of inheritance of acquired characteristic, and that theory was proposed by Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck in 1809 in his famous book Philosophique Zoologique. And this theory is based on the comparison between the species which were present at that time and the fossil record which was obtained at that time. And he said that organisms or species, they inherit the acquired characteristics, and these acquired characteristics are basically the changes. These acquired characteristics are basically defined as the changes or variations which are developed by the body from the normal characteristics or in response to the changing environment, or with respect to their functioning or their use or disuse of the organisms in their lifetime. So thus Lamarck stressed on adaptations as means of evolutionary modifications. There are some important postulates of Lamarckism or Lamarck's theory. First is the new needs. Every living organism is found in some kind of environment, and according to that environment there are some kinds of needs, such as there is a need of light, temperature, there is a medium need, food and air, or migration of animals that also lead to the origin of the new needs in the living organisms. This is to fulfill these kinds of needs, living organisms have to exert special efforts like change in their pattern, their habits, or in their behavior. Second important postulate is the use and disuse of the organs. According to the previous studies, if there is a need of the food, or there is new needs, then there should be the involvement of different types of habits, or there should be involvement of use and disuse of organisms. If there is more use of that any condition, then there will be more increase in that kind of organism or organs, or if there is no use or disuse, that will greatly affect their form, structure and function of these organs. So continuous and extra use of organs make that organ more efficient, while disuse led the degradation or degeneration of, or ultimately disappearance of that organ. So organisms acquire certain new characteristics due to direct or indirect environmental effects, or due to use or disuse of those organs. Third important postulate is inheritance of those acquired characteristics. Lamarck also believed that these acquired characteristics are inheritable and transmitted to the offsprings which can best fit to their changing environmental conditions. So if these conditions are inherited, so ultimately generation after generation there is formation of a new species which is more acclimatized with the new conditions. So there are certain evidences which are in favor of Lamarckism. For example, if we study the phylogenetic study of horse, elephants, and other animals, that also show that there is increase in evolution from simple to complex form. Another example which mostly in the favor of Lamarckism is the development of long-necked giraffes, as there was a need to graze on the trees, so they have to develop the long necks if they have to survive with the environmental conditions. Another example is the snakes. We get development of present-day limbless snakes with long slender body from the limbed ancestors due to continuous disuse of limbs. That's why now the limbless snakes are present. Another is the aquatic birds, because aquatic birds don't need wing-like structure, so their continuous disuse of the wings, they develop the present condition. Second is the flightless birds, development of flightless birds like ostriches from flying ancestors due to continuous disuse of wings, as these were found in the well-protected areas with plenty of food. Another example is the horse, ancestor of modern horse, that lived in the areas with soft ground and were short-legged with number of functional digits. Though there is some criticism also with the Lamarck theory, a hard blow of Lamarck came from the German biologist August Weismann, who proposed the theory of continuity of germplasm in 1892, and this theory states that environmental factors do affect only somatic cells and not to the germ cells. As the link between the generation is only through germ cells, so if there is any change in the somatic cell, that will not be inherited. Or he suggested that germplasm came with the special particles which are called as IDs, which control the development of parental characteristics in offspring. So somatic cells are not responsible and they are not inherited to the next generation. Weismann continuously mutated the tail of the mice for 22 generation and allowed them to breed, but still there was no new generation with tailless mice. Similarly, Pavlov, another Russian physicist who also trained the mice to come for food on hearing the bell, but that was also not inherited to the next generation. And Mendel's law of inheritance also objects the postulates of inheritance of acquired characteristic of Lamarckism. So, eyes which we use continuously and constantly, they develop defects instead of being more improved. Similarly, if a heart size that is continuously working and that does not increase generation after generation, though it is used continuously. But though there are some criticism, but it also has some significances. First of all, it was the first comprehensive theory of biological evolution. Second, it stressed on adaptations to the environment as a primary product of evolution. So, thank you.